Let me ask you, Babajide, let's talk about population, Nigeria's population. It seems to be something that attracts investors into this part of the world. They keep saying a country of more than 200 million people, you can't be making a mistake investing in that kind of country. How is our population impacting us as a country, positively or negatively, in your thoughts, particularly focus of investments, that angle of investments?
Well, population is, population itself is mere number. Of course, numerical advantage because you have much people who can, purchase, who can consume and what have you. Right. On that note, you can say it is advantageous to the country. But when you begin to apply some other metrics to it to check the ability of this population to consume, you might now begin to worry and see that, okay, indeed, we have the population, but the population is not, I don't want to use the word poor. Like the population is poor and cannot, necessarily consume. So if you look at that, right, most of all the FMCG companies, bellwether companies that came into Nigeria to set up businesses, right? They came in on the back of Nigeria has a very strong demographic structure. They have people who can consume and what have you. And of course, they established their businesses and they started outrightly well. And they had consistent improvement over time. But as Nigeria began to progress, right, population was also increasing, but per capita income, the ability of this population to consume was moderating. And if you have that kind of situation whereby you have large or enormous number of people and the ability to consume is shrinking and moderating over time, economically they are not offering any real value. Right? Numerically, fine, they have the number, but economically they're not really contributing to the economy. And that's why you see that most FMCG companies, despite the fact that Nigeria is a country that consumes so much, most of them are having thin margins. Their margins are fading out. Some of them are even having to leave the country because the population is there, but the population cannot, afford basic amenities. They cannot afford, products and services, that are, closer to the cost-effective prices. And that is also part of what is affecting the issue of subsidy, removal of PMS, and what have you. Because when you begin to consider numerical advantage, the masses, this and that, you may begin to have justification to adding subsidy on fuel and electricity and what have you, just to support them. But if you now look at running a cost-reflective system whereby every product and services that you're offering to the public is cost-reflective, right? Then you find out that the average Nigerian cannot necessarily afford basic basic necessities of life, and it is really really sad. And but we understand fully well that the current government is doing quite a lot to make sure that they change that story, and we continue to hope that those issues will begin to become will stay as issues of the past, and we'll have a much more blossom future ahead of us.
Great. Finally, before I let you go, Mr. Babajide, there have been lots of commitments from India to Kenya to Saudi Arabia, now in Germany. MOUs have been signed, pen put to paper. People are signing, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Agreements are being reached. What more are we to do to follow up all of this? It needs to trickle down. Let it get in, not just on paper. So what should be the next line of move as we move on to the end of the year with regards to actualizing these deals?
Well, I think it's a good start, like you've mentioned, because I'm also going to take you back a bit to numbers, right? If you look at Nigeria's capital importation, right, you will see that FDI's proportion to the total capital importation has kind of, almost faded out. Like there's almost nothing there coming from FDI again. Most of the capital we get is coming from foreign portfolio investment, which is equity, bonds, and money markets, right? And those monies are hot monies because they're usually short term and they come at at a high cost at sometimes. So what we need to do is to continue to amplify this mode, amplify this current investment drive through FDI, because when FDI comes, it creates jobs, it helps to build infrastructure, it brings in FX, and then it stays for quite a period of time. So it solves medium to long term challenges. So in a short while, I'll suggest that we continue to push aggressively to make sure that these FDIs come into Nigeria and they stay in Nigeria, and then rather than going into neighboring countries like Ghana, Togo, and Co, they see Nigeria as as an attractive and reliable investment destination for their funds. And one of the ways we can do that is to ensure that our policies are consistent. We tackle macroeconomic issues as it should be, and then investors always want to see that you are operating a completely free market, a free market operation, whereby the market is not under the subjectivity of the government or what have you. It's mainly determined by buyers and sellers. So if we're able to tweak all those all those metrics, I'm pretty sure that over the short medium term we'll achieve greatness.